All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm testing this out, hoping that the end result is. I mean, it's significantly better than the hand-drawn ones I used to do. That actually used to be one of my favorite parts about being DM was just being able to create the worlds themselves. Um, let me take that down a layer now. All right, there we go. I'm just leaving some Easter eggs here and there for them to find when they're analyzing the overland map. This is going to be, or at least starting out as a decently low magic setting. And I don't mean low magic as in people don't know about it. People know about it plenty. Um, they know that it exists. Um, the items that they use and whatnot. They'll all be well used to getting magic items. Magical tools, things that are you know more durable than they should be and whatnot. Um, but they're not used to seeing it actively used. Is going to be the big thing. Um, the guy who comes into town and does the flashy lights and magic tricks. That's cool. Everybody likes that. It's good entertainment. Real safe. But the first time somebody shoots a magic missile in town, everybody will lose their mind. Well, not necessarily lose their mind, but it'll definitely be a big deal for them. So biggest problem is trying to remember, um, you know, some old geography lessons and whatnot about rain shadows and whatnot. Um, to make the map more feasible, more real. I'm aiming for a decent amount of realism in here. Not necessarily realism, the entire map. So the reason that I'm focusing on these 5 areas is that I intend for it to be mostly cut off from the rest of the world. Um, you know, they haven't had any meaningful contact with any neighboring nations for some time. So the intention there is that, that's how these mercantile monoliths got, so big. Um, they were, they were able to concentrate their power. They didn't have any outside external shenanigans causing it. Um, generations of families pooling their resources and whatnot. Um, and essentially, it leads to these same people owning everything. Now, there's going to be some pretty rare items that are, encounters items and whatnot that I'm adding in here. Definitely looking forward to throwing some stuff in there. One of the uh, one of the players is actually going to be my brother, and he was the one who got me started on this originally. Um, but there's some lore that I have followed that I know he has not. When I say lore that he's followed, I'm talking like, obscure creatures, etc., etc. um, things that aren't necessarily in even 3.5 or any of the Pathfinder or anything like that he's played, um, which is good. I'm looking forward to giving him some unique experiences. We were Since this last game that we played was largely a reintroduction for two of the guys. Um, I ran a couple of old pre-made modules that I had run. One of them, I knew my brother knew because I remember the two of us running it with some people years ago. Not that we really ever finished it. We were pretty bad about finishing anything back then. Um, but I like to throw in some, homebrew aspects here or there. And there was more than a few times where he would just look at me, you know, and go, I, I don't remember that being in here. Well, yeah, I know. I have to make, new experiences and whatnot. Can't just make everything too easy all the time. Primarily because they found an item and he spent the better part of a week trying to figure out what it was, um, only to eventually discover that, yeah, it was something I made up on the spot, on the fly, and uh, it was a major driving factor in the game. Turns to come, or come to find out. But yeah, we got some different aspects in here. Let's see. Elves don't have a central homeland in this region anymore. Most of them are just, you know, they're the well-known merchants, the diplomats, etc., etc. Um, they're either merchants or in politics. Dwarves and gnomes are kind of split up. Dwarves have two different places. One where that they share with gnomes. They're big on you know technology and jewelry and stuff like that. The other ones they're more isolationist, um, and largely trying to be left alone. Um, but yeah, there's some. I've tried not to steal too many aspects from a lot of you know different references. I try to be mildly unique in these, at least in things that I think of, and it might be based off of the same premise as something else, but it's never meant to be a direct rip off, with one exception that I did recently. Um, really, because I wanted to see how the players would handle it, but I knew that nobody else was really into the game that I pulled it from, so for basically everybody, it was new. Um, Not gonna lie, I did feel a little bad about doing it, but it was an experience I wanted to share with them. A little bit of knowledge and lore from that game. So, all right. Well, it's pretty late. Thanks for hanging out. I think I'm gonna take off for the night. Think some more on how I want to put this together. Thank you.